Right, my name is Misha an talamh Brian se irish vartine Greece Machinera. My name is Dr. Professor Brian G. McEnery, or McEnery, where the name comes from, in County Limerick. And I have to make a decision. I'm going to find the particular article of the Constitution. Just give me a moment. It's Article 45.2.1. And it says that the principles of social policy set forth in this article are intended for the general guidance of the Oireachtas, which means that every member of the Oireachtas, not the courts, are responsible for making sure that this guidance is adhered to. And Article 45.2.1 states that the citizens, all of whom, both men and women equally, have the right to an adequate means of livelihood, may through their occupation find the means of making reasonable provision for their domestic needs. Now, that sounds great. My domestic needs at the moment basically state that within the next 48 hours I shall be penniless. Luckily enough, I won't be homeless. I was homeless for a while, 7 or 8 years ago, and luckily enough I was able to pick myself up by my bootstraps. But every time I try to make a business out of my ideas, the government ignore it, the institutes of technology ignore it, the universities ignore it, and the enterprise agencies ignore it. All of them are acting contrary to Article 45.2.1. Now, I don't know how to force the government to take this seriously. They did exactly the same thing to my father when he started off a business in 1968-69. He was called back on reserve in aid to the civil power or whatever it was. He spent 6 months in Cork on reserve, and meanwhile members of TACA, that disgusting Fianna Fáil organisation, tried to bribe him in order to take a grant, and we'll take a little bit for TACA. Takiacht. I am looking for takiacht now, but I'm not looking for a bribe. I'm looking for money to satisfy 30 years of research and development. And what I have found is that the development agencies over the years have absolutely no competence when it comes to the requirements of indigenous people. I'm not the only one. And I would love for someone to spread this around so that we can begin to take action against this so-called government, so-called opposition, so-called academics, and so-called development agencies. Am I mad? Yes, I am. Because within 2 days, my ability to go on the internet will be curtailed. My ability to actually have electricity in my home will be curtailed. I was offered $10 by a friend of mine from Tumeniov, 1,000 kilometres east of Perm. And I said, no, I'm not collecting money that way. I want to get my just deserts from this corrupt government. We look after you all during the COVID crisis. Oh, we're great members of the European Union. But do you stand up for your own people? No. And you make a mountain out of a molehill. Oh, the Russians are going to do something in the Irish control waters. So what, Simon Coveney? I stood against you in 1998. You were useless then, and you are useless now. You are not a Minister for Foreign Affairs. You're a Minister for pranking. That's all. You're a prank. A crank and a prank. I'll write a poem for you. I am a poet. I'm a philosopher. I can even be a politician when needs be. But I won't be like that weak-minded opposition we have at the moment in the Dáil. That's all there. It's time to stand. Seas suas. Sinné. Grib mahagat agus slán.